Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Devangi Dwivedi, Senior Lecturer in the Department of Oral Pathology and Microbiology. Today, I'll tell you about leukoplakia. So, leukoplakia, most commonly we say as white patch, is the most common potentially malignant lesion of the oral mucosa. However, its usage should be limited exclusively to the clinical context by the exclusion of other lesions which present as oral white plaques. Such lesions are lichen planus, the hypertrophic one, chronic cheek bite, frictional keratosis, tobacco-induced keratosis, leukoedema, and white sponge nevus. Now, how to define the oral leukoplakia? It has been recently redefined as a predominantly white lesion of the oral mucosa that cannot be characterized as any other definable lesion. Some oral leukoplakia will transform into cancer. That was given by XLT in 1996. A provisional diagnosis is made when a lesion at clinical examination cannot be clearly diagnosed as any other disease of the oral mucosa with a white appearance. A definitive diagnosis is made when it is histopathologically examined. The term pre-leukoplakia is sometimes used when the whiteness is not distinct and should not be confused with leukoedema, a hereditary malformation of the oral mucosa. Now, what is candidal leukoplakia or hyperplastic candidiasis, the word which we use when dealing with a hyperplastic epithelial lesion in which the presence of Candida albicans is demonstrated? It is referred to as Candida associated leukoplakia, or others prefer the term hyperplastic candidiasis. In the absence of clinical response to antifungal treatment, it seems preferably to consider such lesion as leukoplakia. Hairy leukoplakia, Greenspan lesion. The term hairy leukoplakia is a misnomer due to several reasons. First of all, hairy leukoplakia is a definable lesion. Furthermore, the lesion is not premalignant in nature. Therefore, the use of the term should be abandoned. As an alternative, the term Greenspan lesion has been suggested. Tobacco-associated leukoplakia. The etiological role of tobacco in patients who smoke cigarettes, cigar or pipe is less obvious. Therefore, preference has been given to the term tobacco-associated leukoplakia over the term tobacco-induced white lesions. Idiopathic leukoplakia. One also recognizes non-tobacco associated leukoplakia in non-smokers, often referred to as idiopathic leukoplakia. The onset of leukoplakia usually takes place after the age of 30 years, resulting in a peak incidence above the age of 50 years. The gender distribution in most studies varies, ranging from a strong male predominance in different parts in India to almost 1:1 in the Western world. Coming to the etiology, leukoplakia occurs most frequently in smokers of tobacco than in non-smokers. There is a dose-response relationship between tobacco usage and the prevalence of oral leukoplakia. Reducing or cessation of tobacco use may result in the regression or disappearance of oral leukoplakia. On the other hand, disappearance of oral leukoplakia has occasionally been reported in patients who continue to smoke. Tobacco was most often chewed as an ingredient in betel quid. The pan chewer's lesion consists of a thick brownish black incrustation on the buccal mucosa at the site of the placement of betel quid. It is often seen in heavily addicted betel quid chewers. It could be scraped off with a piece of gauze. It regresses spontaneously when the habit is discontinued. Due to these reasons, the pan chewer's lesion does not deserve the designation of leukoplakia. Now coming to the histology. The hallmarks of the histopathological aspects of leukoplakia are epithelial hyperplasia and surface hyperkeratosis. Epithelial dysplasia, if present, may range from mild to severe. In some instances, carcinoma in situ and even squamous cell carcinoma are encountered histologically. Here is a list histopathological features of epithelial dysplasia. It is adapted from Kramer et al. First one is loss of polarity of the basal cells. Second is presence of more than one layer of cells having a basaloid appearance. Third is increased nuclear cytoplasmic ratio. Fourth is drop-shaped retiprocesis. Fifth is irregular epithelial stratification. Sixth is increased number of mitotic figures. A few abnormal mitosis may be present. Seventh, presence of mitotic figures in the superficial half of the epithelium. Then the eighth one is cellular pleomorphism. Ninth is nuclear hyperchromatism. 10th is enlarged nuclei. 11th is reduction of cellular cohesion. Last one is the keratinization of single cells or cell groups in the prickle layer. Next, coming to the treatment modalities. Apart from the surgical excision, various treatment modalities are available such as cryosurgery, CO2 laser surgery, retinoids and other drugs, and recently photodynamic therapy has also been found useful. That was all for leukoplakia. Thank you.